Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel of Indian Astrology. Today we will discuss the 11th house of the horoscope, but before that, we will cover some basic information about the entire horoscope. I will be teaching you in YouTube channel of Indian Astrology from the basics to advanced levels. First, it's important to know that the horoscope has 12 houses, 12 zodiac signs, and 9 planets, but 2 of these planets are considered shadow planets. First, we will learn about the 12 houses of the horoscope and where they are located in the birth chart. First, the first house comes here. Then the second house comes here. After that, the third house comes here. And then the fourth house comes here. Later, the fifth house comes here. Then the sixth house comes here. After that, the seventh house comes here. And then the eighth house comes here. Later, the ninth house comes here. Then the 10th house comes here. After that, the 11th house comes here. And finally, the 12th house comes here. The 12 houses are always fixed. That means the 12 houses never change. Now we will learn about the 12 zodiac signs. The positions of these 12 signs and 9 planets in the 12 houses of the horoscope will be changed depending on the person's date of birth, place of birth, and exact time of birth. Now we know the names of all 12 zodiac signs. And we know the numbers assigned to each of those signs. Aries is number 1. Taurus is number 2. Gemini is number 3. Cancer is number 4. Leo is number 5. Virgo is number 6. Libra is number 7. Scorpio is number 8. Sagittarius is number 9. Capricorn is number 10. Aquarius is number 11. And Pisces is number 12. The names of the 9 planets are Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Among these, Rahu and Ketu are called shadow planets. The zodiac signs and planets are connected to each other by numbers. This is referred to as the ruling planet of the zodiac sign. Out of the 9 planets, 7 are assigned ownership of the zodiac signs. Rahu and Ketu are not assigned physical signs. The Sun is assigned to only one zodiac sign, which is Leo, and the zodiac sign number for Leo is 5. The Moon is assigned only one zodiac sign, which is Cancer, and the ruling planet number for Cancer is 4. The planet Mars is assigned to 2 zodiac signs, Aries and Scorpio. The zodiac sign number for Aries is 1, and the zodiac sign number for Scorpio is 8. The planet Mercury is assigned to 2 zodiac signs, Gemini and Virgo. The zodiac sign number for Gemini is 3, and the zodiac sign number for Virgo is 6. The planet Jupiter has been assigned 2 zodiac signs, which are Sagittarius and Pisces. The zodiac sign number for Sagittarius is 9 and the zodiac sign number for Pisces is 12. The planet Venus is assigned to 2 zodiac signs, Taurus and Libra. The zodiac sign number for Taurus is 2, and the zodiac sign number for Libra is 7. The planet Saturn is assigned 2 zodiac signs, Capricorn and Aquarius. The zodiac sign number for Capricorn is 10, and the zodiac sign number for Aquarius is 11. Each house, sign, and planet in a horoscope has its own unique characteristics. By studying and combining all these characteristics, we can predict the future of any individual. In today's video, we will study and discuss the 11th house of the horoscope in detail. What is the 11th house of horoscope? In Vedic astrology, the 11th house is referred to as the house of gains. It is a highly significant house in a horoscope, as it signifies income, the fulfillment of desires, friends, and one's social network. This house reveals how an individual will acquire money, profits, and financial opportunities. Income derived from employment, business, or other sources is analyzed through this house. In astrology, it is regarded as the house that indicates the extent to which an individual's wishes and aspirations will be fulfilled. The 11th house represents friends, social groups, networks, and contacts. The presence of benefic planets in this house suggests that the individual will acquire influential friends. This house also provides indications regarding one's elder brother or sister. Ultimately, this house reveals the nature of the achievements and social honor and recognition that an individual is likely to attain in life. What are the good and bad effects of all the planets on the 11th house? If the Sun is exalted in the sign of Aries within the 11th house of a birth chart, it is generally considered a highly auspicious planetary combination. Yoga. This is because the Sun attains its exaltation in Aries, and the 11th house governs gains, income, and the fulfillment of desires. Since the 11th house signifies gains, an exalted Sun in this position creates excellent sources of income. One may derive benefits from large-scale projects or government entities, and both wealth and prestige tend to grow over time. Such an individual's friends are often influential figures, government officials, or people occupying high-ranking positions. Furthermore, one derives significant benefits through their social network. The Sun is the planet of leadership and authority. Consequently, the individual may assume a leadership role within society, gaining recognition and respect among the masses, and may secure a prominent position within an organization or group. As the 11th house also governs desires, there is a high probability that one's major life goals will be realized, and one's hard work is frequently rewarded with success. If the Sun is positioned in Libra within the 11th house of a birth chart, and is debilitated, the resulting effects can be mixed. Due to the presence of a debilitated Sun, an individual may experience a lack of stability in their income. Gains are realized only after significant effort, and at times, funds may accrue through the mediation of others. The Sun acts as the significator of the father, authority, and prestige. Consequently, when debilitated, it may lead to ideological clashes with one's father, as well as difficulties involving one's boss or government officials. The 11th house also governs friendships. In such a scenario, some friends may prove to be self-serving, and issues regarding trust may arise within one's social or professional network. Furthermore, a debilitated Sun may occasionally cause the individual to experience diminished self-confidence and hesitation when making decisions. If the moon is positioned in the 11th house of a birth chart while being exalted in the sign of Taurus, this is considered a highly auspicious placement in Vedic astrology. Since the moon attains its exaltation in the sign of Taurus, the results associated with this placement are generally regarded as favorable. The 11th house signifies gains and profits. Therefore, the presence of an exalted moon in this house can lead to the creation of multiple sources of income. The individual is likely to experience gradual yet substantial financial gains throughout life and may also derive benefits from investments or business ventures. Furthermore, such a person is likely to acquire influential friends, establish strong social connections, and benefit significantly from their professional and social networks. The 11th house is also the domain governing the fulfillment of desires. With an exalted moon situated here, the likelihood of the individual's wishes and goals being realized increases significantly. As the moon is the significator of the mind and popularity, the individual is likely to become popular among the masses, expand their social circle, and achieve success in endeavors involving public interaction or engagement. If the moon is debilitated, in its sign of debility, in the 11th house, specifically in the sign of Scorpio, within a birth chart, it can lead to adverse consequences. The 11th house governs gains and income. When the moon is debilitated in this position, income tends to be unstable. One may experience sudden gains followed by losses, or face emotional and circumstantial fluctuations in earnings. The 11th house also represents friends. While one may make friends easily, these friendships often do not last. There is a possibility of betrayal or misunderstandings involving friends. Furthermore, driven by emotional impulses, the individual may place their trust in the wrong people. The presence of a debilitated moon causes desires to shift frequently, leading to confusion in setting goals, and the fulfillment of wishes may be delayed. Since the moon is considered debilitated in Scorpio, the individual may experience heightened emotionality, suspicion, internalized stress, or occasional feelings of loneliness. The 11th house also signifies elder siblings. Consequently, this placement may result in emotional distance from them or, at times, tension within those relationships. If, in a birth chart, Mars is positioned in the 11th house while exalted in Capricorn, this placement is considered highly powerful according to Vedic astrology. Since Mars attains its exaltation in Capricorn, its energy becomes exceptionally balanced and results-oriented. The 11th house signifies gains and profits. The presence of an exalted Mars in this house facilitates substantial earnings through hard work and courage. It can yield benefits in fields such as business, technical professions, the military, law enforcement, and engineering. Furthermore, this placement often leads to the development of multiple sources of income. Individuals with this placement possess influential friends and contacts. They demonstrate strong leadership qualities within their social circles or workplaces and possess the innate ability to organize and mobilize people. As the 11th house also governs the fulfillment of desires, Such individuals harbor intense ambitions in life and possess the capability to achieve their goals through a combination of diligent effort and strategic planning. If Mars is debilitated, in its sign of debility, in the sign of Cancer and positioned in the 11th house of a birth chart, the resulting effects are mixed. This is because, while the 11th house is the house of gains, Mars is considered to be weak when situated here. The 11th house governs income. When Mars is debilitated in this position, money does indeed flow in, but it lacks stability. One may experience sudden gains at times, followed by sudden expenses at others. Mars is an aggressive planet. Being debilitated in Cancer, it can lead to arguments or misunderstandings with friends. While friendships may form quickly, they are equally prone to breaking apart. Due to the weakness of Mars, the individual tends to be highly ambitious. However, the fulfillment of their desires is often delayed. The 11th house also represents elder siblings. Consequently, differences of opinion or emotional distance may arise between the individual and their elder siblings, and at times, struggles may even be observed within the siblings' own lives. According to Vedic astrology, if Mercury is positioned in the 11th house of a birth chart, specifically within the sign of Virgo, and is either exalted or in a very strong state, it is generally considered to constitute a highly auspicious planetary combination, yoga. The 11th house, known as the House of Gains, governs income and profits. When Mercury is strongly placed here, one acquires wealth through intellect and communication skills. Income may flow from multiple sources, and significant gains can be derived from fields such as business, trading, marketing, or writing. Since Virgo is Mercury's own sign, the planet is considered exceptionally powerful when situated here. Consequently, the individual tends to be highly logical and analytical, excelling in planning and problem solving, and demonstrating a keen eye for detail. Furthermore, the 11th house signifies one's social circle. Thus, the individual may acquire intelligent and influential friends. Networking proves beneficial for career advancement, and one's social circle is likely to be professionally oriented. As Mercury is the planet of communication, this placement fosters success in fields such as writing, teaching, media, marketing, accounting, IT, and consulting, while also endowing the individual with strong oratorical and persuasive abilities. If Mercury is debilitated in the sign of Pisces within the 11th house of a birth chart, the results are mixed. The 11th house is the domain of gains, friendships, and the fulfillment of desires, whereas Mercury is considered debilitated when placed in Pisces. The presence of Mercury in the 11th house creates potential for financial gain through communication, business, and networking. However, due to its debilitated state in Pisces, financial matters may be prone to confusion, poor decision-making, or losses. Income may accrue at times, but it often lacks stability. The individual may possess a wide circle of friends. However, some of these companions could prove to be self-serving or deceitful. Placing hasty trust in the words of others may lead to detrimental consequences. Mercury is the planet of intellect and logic, whereas Pisces is an emotional and imaginative sign. Consequently, the individual may exhibit an inclination toward creative thinking, imagination, the arts, or writing, yet may struggle with making practical decisions. According to Vedic astrology, if Jupiter is exalted within the sign of Cancer and is positioned in the 11th house of a birth chart, it is considered a highly auspicious planetary combination. Yoga. This placement enhances gains, fortune, and beneficial connections in one's life. The 11th house is the house of gains, while Jupiter is the planet of wisdom and expansion. Consequently, the individual encounters opportunities for substantial income. Wealth and assets tend to grow over time, and earnings may accrue from multiple sources. This planetary combination often facilitates the fulfillment of an individual's significant desires, as life goals are gradually realized. The individual gains influential and supportive friends, while also establishing a respected reputation and distinct identity within society. Connections with prominent or high-ranking individuals may be formed. Furthermore, as the 11th house is associated with elder siblings, there is a likelihood of receiving support or benefits from them. With Jupiter being exalted, the individual's religious inclination, altruistic spirit, moral compass, and wisdom are significantly strengthened. If Jupiter is debilitated in the sign of Capricorn within the 11th house of a birth chart, its effects are considered to be mixed. The presence of Jupiter in the 11th house generally creates opportunities for income. However, due to Jupiter being debilitated in Capricorn, there may be delays or fluctuations in the inflow of wealth. The individual typically reaps benefits only after putting in hard work, and occasionally, losses may arise from poor investments or misguided advice. The individual may have few friends, but those they do have are likely to be practical. At times, the expected support from friends may not materialize, and building a social or professional network may take time. The 11th house is the house of desires. However, the presence of a debilitated Jupiter here can cause delays in the fulfillment of wishes, requiring the individual to exert greater effort to achieve their goals. Overall, a debilitated Jupiter in Capricorn situated in the 11th house typically bestows wealth that accumulates gradually, success that follows diligent effort, and a circle of friends that, while limited in number, proves to be useful and practical. If a birth chart features the sign of Pisces in the 11th house, and Venus is positioned there in its exalted state, this configuration is generally considered highly auspicious in astrology. This is because Pisces is regarded as the sign of Venus's exaltation. The 11th house is the domain of gains and income. The presence of an exalted Venus in this house can lead to substantial financial earnings, income from multiple sources, and profits derived from fields such as art, fashion, beauty, entertainment, or luxury. Furthermore, the 11th house is associated with the fulfillment of desires. Thus, the presence of an exalted Venus significantly increases the likelihood of an individual's various wishes coming true. The individual is likely to acquire good and supportive friends, become a popular figure within their social circle, and benefit significantly from networking. As Venus is the planet governing love and relationships, it bestows happiness and mutual support in romantic partnerships. Additionally, the individual may experience financial improvement following marriage. Both Pisces and Venus are intrinsically linked to creativity, art, and imagination. Consequently, individuals with this placement often excel in fields such as music, acting, design, photography, beauty, and fashion. When an exalted Venus occupies the 11th house in Pisces, it typically manifests as substantial financial gains, a robust social network, success in matters of love and art, and the ultimate fulfillment of one's desires. If Venus is debilitated in the sign of Virgo within the 11th house of an individual's birth chart, its effects are considered to be mixed. There may be delays or instability in the accumulation of wealth. Profits from business, employment, or other sources may not be realized at the expected time. The benefits or support received from friends may be limited. Occasionally, confusion or difficulties may arise due to friends or social groups. The fulfillment of certain life desires may be delayed. Obstacles may hinder the attainment of expected success regarding comforts and material amenities. Due to the debilitation of Venus, issues related to the kidneys, urinary system, or gynecological health may sometimes arise. A debilitated Venus can also impact relationships and one's love life. Tension or dissatisfaction in personal relationships is possible, and maintaining balance within romantic relationships may prove to be challenging. If Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra within the 11th house of an individual's birth chart, it is considered a highly significant placement. An exalted Saturn in the 11th house is regarded as extremely auspicious for income and financial gains. Through hard work and discipline, the individual secures substantial financial resources and opportunities. This placement ensures stability in income and yields long-term financial benefits. This planetary position strengthens the individual's friendships and social connections, providing access to assistance and support through friends. The individual's social network becomes both influential and reliable. An exalted Saturn fulfills desires gradually, yet permanently. While immediate success or gains may be modest, the ultimate results are enduring and lasting. The individual possesses a profound sense of self-restraint, patience, and discipline. They pursue their goals with steadfast patience and perseverance. Furthermore, an exalted Saturn in the 11th house can bestow upon the individual social honor, prestige, and high-level achievements. There is also a likelihood of receiving benefits or support from elder siblings or senior associates. If Saturn is situated in a debilitated state, specifically in the sign of Aries, within the 11th house of an individual's birth chart, they may face delays in receiving income, financial difficulties, or obstacles in realizing profits. Despite putting in hard work, the rewards are not immediately forthcoming. Due to the influence of a debilitated Saturn, an individual's relationships with friends and associates may become strained. At times, Friends may even engage in betrayal or deceit. The fulfillment of desires takes time, necessitating that the individual exercise patience and maintain consistent effort. A debilitated Saturn often brings about stress, anxiety, and a sense of mental burden. Occasionally, dormant health issues may also resurface. While success can be achieved through diligence and self-discipline, difficulties may arise in attaining social prestige and substantial financial gains. If Rahu is exalted in Taurus within the 11th house, the house of gains, in an individual's birth chart, it can yield specific and distinct results. The 11th house is the domain of gains and income. When Rahu is exalted in this position, the individual may receive financial benefits from unconventional or unexpected sources. It indicates the potential for substantial wealth, successful investments, profitable business ventures, or income derived from foreign sources. The presence of an exalted Rahu expands the individual's social network and circle of friends. The person often connects with influential, unique, or foreign acquaintances. Consequently, the likelihood of accruing benefits through friends and contacts increases significantly. When Rahu is exalted, the individual harbors extraordinary desires and ambitions. While some of these desires may be fulfilled rapidly, the very nature of Rahu can sometimes lead to an escalation of greed or excessive ambition. Furthermore, the aspiration to become influential and renowned within both social and economic spheres intensifies. If Rahu is debilitated in the 11th house in the sign of Scorpio within an individual's birth chart, the results can be mixed. The individual may encounter the wrong kind of friends, form associations with selfish or cunning people, and at times, even face betrayal at the hands of friends. Rahu amplifies desires. Consequently, the individual's ambitions may be vast, yet they may experience struggle or dissatisfaction in the pursuit of achieving them. The 11th house also governs elder siblings. Therefore, differences of opinion, emotional distance, or fluctuations in relationships with them may arise. Since Scorpio is a mysterious and strategic sign, the individual may derive benefits from fields such as research, occult or esoteric subjects, politics, and investigative work. When situated in the 11th house in Scorpio, Rahu can bestow upon the individual immense ambition, gains from unconventional sources, and an extensive social network. However, if Rahu is weak, it may instead lead to problems with friends, unstable income, and mental dissatisfaction. If Ketu is situated in the 11th house in the sign of Scorpio within an individual's birth chart, it is considered to be exalted or highly powerful. With Ketu positioned here, the individual may receive gains from sudden or unconventional sources. Financial inflow may, at times, occur in unpredictable ways. Ketu is regarded as the planet of detachment and spirituality. Consequently, an individual's material desires may diminish. Often, despite having opportunities at their disposal, the individual may not accord them much significance. Friends may be few in number, yet they are likely to possess distinct or enigmatic personalities. The individual may develop an interest in subjects such as mysteries, research, astrology, occult practices, and psychology. Their intuition is likely to be exceptionally strong, enabling them to quickly perceive the hidden aspects of others. As Ketu is considered a spiritual planet, the individual may feel drawn toward the spiritual path, meditation, yoga, or esoteric studies. Even after attaining material success, they continue to seek inner contentment. If Ketu is positioned in the sign of Taurus within the 11th house, the house of gains, of an individual's horoscope, where it is considered debilitated, the person may acquire wealth, yet financial stability tends to be lacking. With Ketu's influence, the individual may cultivate few friendships, or at times, experience betrayal by friends or a sense of estrangement from them. Ketu can instill in the individual a sense of detachment from material possessions. Occasionally, despite possessing everything, one may experience a lack of inner contentment. The individual may feel an internal sense of dispassion toward wealth and material objects. How will each zodiac sign affect the 11th house? If the sign of Aries occupies the 11th house of a horoscope, the individual earns money through hard work and initiative. Income may be derived from action-oriented professions such as business, technical fields, sports, the military, or the police force. The individual is highly ambitious and unafraid to take risks to achieve their goals, harboring a strong desire for rapid success. The individual's friends are likely to be energetic, courageous, or possess leadership qualities. Similarly, their elder siblings may also be bold or natural leaders. However, this placement can occasionally lead to ego clashes or disputes. Money often comes in quickly, though it may be spent just as rapidly. The individual constantly seeks to generate income through new and emerging opportunities. If the sign of Taurus occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, in a horoscope, the individual's income tends to grow gradually yet steadily. While sudden, massive windfalls may be infrequent, significant wealth accumulation is possible over the long term. The 11th house governs friends and social networks. With Taurus positioned here, the individual tends to cultivate a smaller circle of friends. But these relationships are reliable and trustworthy. These friends are often practical in nature and financially secure. The ruling planet of Taurus is Venus, the planet of pleasure, beauty, and luxury. Consequently, the individual's desires and aspirations are often centered around wealth, material assets, a comfortable lifestyle, aesthetics, art, and music. The 11th house also pertains to elder siblings. When Taurus occupies this house, the relationship with them is likely to be stable and practical. Furthermore, the individual may frequently receive financial or social support from them. If the sign of Gemini occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, karma, in a horoscope, the individual receives income from multiple sources. They may engage in a side business or freelance work, and there is a strong likelihood of earning money through communication or the dissemination of information. The 11th house signifies friends and networks, with Gemini positioned here. The individual tends to be highly sociable, cultivating friendships with people from diverse backgrounds and maintaining a large social circle. The ruling planet of Gemini is Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication. Consequently, the native may derive benefits from fields such as writing, media, marketing, trading, in the internet, technology, teaching, or consulting. Such individuals are quick to grasp new ideas, swiftly recognize opportunities, and readily adapt themselves to changing circumstances. Thus, if Gemini is situated in the 11th house, the individual often stands to gain through their communication skills and intellect, enjoys multiple streams of income, possesses an extensive social network, has a sharp mind, and benefits significantly from the opportunities that come their way. If the sign of Cancer occupies the 11th house, the house of karma, gains, in a horoscope, income often stems from emotional endeavors or professions involving interaction with people, such as service, education, the hospitality industry, culinary arts, caregiving, social work, and similar fields. Earnings may occasionally experience fluctuations, as the Moon, the ruling planet of Cancer, is constantly in motion. Such an individual is likely to have sensitive and emotionally attuned friends. Their relationships with friends may evolve into bonds akin to family ties, and the individual tends to be nurturing and protective toward their friends. The individual's desires are frequently centered around family, home, security, and emotional fulfillment. If the Moon is strongly placed in the chart, these desires may manifest relatively quickly. There may be a deep emotional connection with elder siblings. At times, the relationship with them can be intensely protective in nature. In society, the individual is often recognized as being kind, helpful, and caring. Furthermore, they may derive benefits or receive support from women or from individuals possessing maternal qualities. If the sign of Leo occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, karma, in a horoscope, the individual may derive benefits from work involving leadership or authority. Opportunities for income often arise through government service, administration, politics, or high-ranking positions. Such an individual frequently earns money by leveraging their personal identity and reputation. The friends of such individuals are often influential or hold high-ranking positions. Their social network may include leaders, officials, or renowned personalities. The individual themselves also tends to assume a leadership role within their own circle of friends. Such a person possesses grand ambitions and harbors a strong desire to attain name, fame, and honor in life. Their goals are ambitious, and the individual works diligently to achieve them. Their elder siblings may be influential, self-confident, or possess strong leadership qualities. Occasionally, however, differences may arise due to ego clashes. The individual's desires are frequently centered around prestige, honor, and recognition. If the Sun is strongly placed in the horoscope, these desires are likely to be fulfilled with ease. If the sign of Virgo occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, in a horoscope, the individual derives benefits through hard work, skill, and intellect. Earnings often stem from practical endeavors, technical skills, analytical work, or the service sector. Such individuals are very deliberate in choosing their friends. Their circle of friends is small, yet practical and beneficial. Since the nature of Virgo involves a focus on planning and attention to detail, the individual fulfills their desires by adopting a systematic and well-planned approach. As Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo, the individual may find success and gain in fields such as education, writing, business, data management, accounting, healthcare, or the service sector. If the sign of Libra occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, karma, in a horoscope, the native often derives benefits from fields such as art, design, fashion, beauty, and media, typically through partnerships, networking, and connecting with others. The native is sociable and diplomatic. They are capable of cultivating good and influential friendships and possess the ability to maintain equilibrium within society. The individual's desires are frequently fulfilled through relationships and social cooperation. There is a distinct desire for comfort and luxury in life. Profits may be realized through endeavors related to art, music, fashion, law or agreements, diplomacy, public relations, media, trade, or business partnerships. If the sign of Scorpio occupies the 11th house, the house of karma, gains, in a horoscope, the individual is likely to derive benefits from fields such as research, technology, mysterious or clandestine activities, medicine, psychology, and investigation. The individual may have a small circle of friends. However, these friends are likely to be strong and trustworthy. Furthermore, these friends may often be powerful or influential figures. The individual may be extremely passionate, even obsessive about their goals. If the sign of Sagittarius occupies the 11th house, the house of karma, gains, in a horoscope, the individual may derive benefits from knowledge, education, counsel, religion, or teaching. Opportunities for income may arise from foreign lands, travel, or large-scale institutions. Furthermore, there is a likelihood of attaining substantial, albeit gradual, gains throughout life. The individual's friends are often educated, wise, or spiritually inclined. The social network tends to be extensive and influential, and friendships may be formed with people from abroad or distant places. The individual harbors ambitious goals. Their elder siblings may be educated or possess a religious temperament, and guidance or assistance may be received from them. Additionally, the individual stands to benefit from religion, spirituality, or social service. If the sign of Capricorn occupies the 11th house, the house of gains, in a horoscope, income tends to grow gradually, yet over time, it becomes stable and robust. The ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn. Consequently, gains are realized through hard work, discipline, and a sense of responsibility. Acquiring wealth through quick means or shortcuts may prove difficult. One's circle of friends is small but trustworthy. These friends are often serious-minded, responsible, or older in age. Elder siblings may possess a responsible or disciplined nature, and the individual tends to harbor significant, long-term goals in life. If the sign of Aquarius occupies the 11th house, the house of karma, gains, in a horoscope, the individual is likely to have a multitude of friends. These friends may hail from diverse fields and even different countries, and there is a strong probability of deriving benefits through one's social network. Since Saturn is the ruling planet of Aquarius, desires do indeed get fulfilled. However, this often occurs gradually and only after considerable effort. The sign of Aquarius is inherently humanitarian and reformist in nature. Consequently, individuals with this placement often harbor a strong desire to contribute meaningfully to society. The 11th house also governs one's elder siblings. Relationships with them may tend to be somewhat formal or characterized by a certain degree of emotional distance. When Aquarius is positioned in this house, the individual frequently derives benefits through new ideas, scientific or research-oriented endeavors, technology, social service, or extensive social networks. If the sign of Pisces occupies the 11th house, the house of karma, gains, in a horoscope, the individual may derive benefits from fields such as art, music, writing, spiritual pursuits, medicine or service-oriented work, as well as professions related to foreign countries or the sea. The 11th house governs friends and social networks. With Pisces situated here, the individual's friends are likely to be sensitive and supportive. Furthermore, they may hail from diverse backgrounds, potentially even originating from foreign lands or distant places. Since Pisces is an idealistic sign, the individual desires to work not merely for financial gain, but rather in pursuit of a greater purpose or through acts of service. At times, such individuals harbor exceptionally grand dreams. These people are often inclined to help others, engage in charitable acts, and take a keen interest in social service. What are the results if the Lord of the 11th house is strong? A strong Lord of the 11th house bestows upon an individual good earnings, income from multiple sources, sudden gains, and opportunities. When this ruling planet is strong, the individual's significant desires and goals are gradually fulfilled. Such a person gains good and supportive friends, connections with influential people, and social support, thereby increasing their opportunities for advancement in life. A strong ruling planet can also bring support and benefits from elder siblings. Such individuals often achieve success in their respective fields, attain social prestige, and gain a good reputation among people. Furthermore, a strong Lord of the 11th house endows the individual with the capacity to achieve long-term goals. What are the results if the Lord of the 11th house is weak? If the Lord of the house of gains is weak, one may experience fluctuations in income. Despite hard work, the actual returns may fall short of expectations, and there may be delays in receiving payments. The 11th house is associated with desires and goals. Therefore, if the Lord of the 11th house is weak, the fulfillment of one's wishes may be delayed, and plans may frequently fail to materialize. This house also governs friends and social networks. Consequently, one may fall in with the wrong crowd, face betrayal or estrangement from friends, and find that building the right professional network takes a considerable amount of time. Differences may arise with elder siblings, or one may receive limited support from them, potentially leading to emotional distance. What are the general remedies for the 11th house? The 11th house is associated with gains and social connections. Therefore, extend help to the poor and the needy, donate food or clothing, and engage in regular acts of service. Show respect to your elders and mentors. Cultivate the company of good and positive people, and steer clear of negative influences. The 11th house is also linked to elder siblings. Thus, treat them with respect and maintain harmonious relationships with them. Practice mantra chanting. Since this house governs financial gains, avoid excessive greed or resorting to shortcuts. Instead, earn your livelihood through hard work and honesty.